And we are here in Dallas, Texas. This is the Dallas Video Festival, and we are here for the world premiere of Alex Voss's groundbreaking documentary, The Big Secret, which rolls back perfectly the curtain and helps people to understand, number one, why are we getting so sick? Why has conventional medicine failed us? And more importantly, what are the alternative, quote-unquote, therapeutics, science-based, clinically verified, licensed and regulated therapeutics that brave physicians thinking outside of the conventional box are rolling out to everybody who has ears to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the tipping point here. We are not getting healthier as a nation. We're not getting healthier as a world. We're getting sicker and sicker. And it's not because we have bad genes. It's because we have wedded ourselves to a medical monopoly which is old-fashioned, outdated, and not really interested in figuring out how to cure disease. There are science-based, clinically verified alternatives to conventional medicine that work, and that's what we're here to show to the public tonight. God bless Alex Voss, and God bless The Big Secret.
My name is Miguel Castillo, and I'm best known for supporting the U.S. space program. My story begins about 14 years ago when I miraculously found the cure for multiple sclerosis. I was confined 16 years ago to a wheelchair for life, but through a series of techniques that I learned in the Middle East and India, I was able to reverse MS completely, and here I am, having regained total freedom and total movement of my body.
Okay, now who is this you have with you?
I have Dr. Peter Glidden, who is my mentor and my inspiration for changing the world one human at a time by getting the word out about the importance of naturopathic medicine.
Okay, tell us about what happened here, Dr. Glidden.
Well, our whole thing with clinically verified, science-based, licensed and regulated naturopathic medicine is that the human body knows how to fix itself, the human body wants to fix itself, the human body is attempting all of the time to fix itself, and it's the naturopathic physician's job to support those processes and then to prove their repeatability. Miguel and I found each other because we have simpatico, we're both heavily involved in holistic therapeutics. I mean, how many people do you know that have recovered from multiple sclerosis? Are you kidding me? This is a big deal. And this is the tip of the iceberg. I've been doing this for 27 years in primary care, naturopathic medicine. And I have to tell you, most people would not believe the things I've seen people recover from with science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Miguel Castillo is a perfect example of that, and now his aspiration to be the first naturopathic physician in space, and towards that end, he's now working at NASA.
Okay, tell me, the regular doctors told you they couldn't really do anything for this, or what happened?
Yes, I had my neurologist do all kinds of the standard tests, MRIs, spinal taps, etc., and they all concluded that it was definitely MS. There was a lot of ambiguity and confusion about, in fact, is this MS? Is it something else? But no, they all concluded that it was. So I went and said, okay, well, if the illness was not there yesterday, what can I do today so that it's not there tomorrow? And I found the way. And the way was actually through a method that I developed, which is primarily the self-hypnosis method that I am now teaching, based entirely on lucid dreaming. So all of this was able to reprogram my subconscious mind with enough power and significance to then heal my cells in my body.
So you actually have the documentation that shows what you had, and it shows now that you don't have it anymore.
That is correct, and all of this is being told in a story of my book that's about to be published, titled A Gift from the Universe, My Voyage from Paralysis to the Weightlessness of Space.
Okay, and what was the role Dr. Glidden had in this?
Dr. Glidden was the person who came into my life synchronistically and put all the pieces that I was missing together. I had already understood how my emotions and my mind, my thoughts were affecting my health. But when he showed up, he brought the missing piece, which was the physiology. And this part about nutrition and the holistic therapies and holistic methods that are known, and he's known for 27 years, that explain what happens to the human body, for example, when they contract or develop MS, how things like excessive amounts of oxidation or free radical damage in the body can actually lead or develop a condition that we now know as MS, as well as that coming together with an insufficient consumption of essential fatty acids. So when you combine those two, when you don't give the body enough of what it needs and you give too much of it that breaks it down, then what do you have as a resultant? Well, you have MS, Parkinson's disease, ALS, and a number of other things.
And this is important. This is a very important distinction to understand here. A very important distinction. Because Mr. Castillo was able to get on the other side of multiple sclerosis with a meditative technique. You get that? A meditative technique. So what does that speak to? That speaks to the fundamental holistic point of view, which is in diametric opposition to the conventional medical point of view. Conventional medical doctors, bless their hearts, are trained in reductionistic science. And reductionism argues that if it cannot be measured, it does not exist. So, since nobody's ever dissected the soul out of the body or seen it with an MRI or a CT scan, it does not exist. 2, the reductionistically trained MD. The human body is a bag of biochemicals waiting to break. And it's not their job to fix anything, it's their job to manage symptoms. Holistic physicians, on the contrary, argue, wait a minute, a human being is a spiritual entity having a physical experience. What happens to the physical body at the moment of death? Well, it starts to decay. Why? Because the soul is gone, the spirit is gone, the key is gone, the vital force. Call it what you want. Elvis has left the building. This is the fundamental distinction between the holistic message and the old-fashioned, outdated, archaic, reductionistic medical model. Mr. Castillo was able to completely recover from multiple sclerosis with a meditative technique which allowed him to tap into his body's vital force and produce a cure. Now, that's an extreme example, but it happened right here, right now, on planet Earth. No smoke and mirrors. More pragmatic examples of that are our understanding of medical nutrition, because our basic notion here is that the human body is inhabited by a soul force which has intelligence, which is running the show. So it's our job just to give the body the stuff it needs to optimize its structure and function. Give your body a fighting chance to optimize its structure and function. Stop eating foods that are gumming up the works. Nutrify the body appropriately so that it has a chance to express itself the way that nature and God intended. Your body's ability to fix itself is 1,000 times greater than anyone has told you about, and this is living proof.
Well, see, when someone gets healed from what you are healed from, that's not supposed to happen, is it?
According to medical science, no, it's not supposed to happen, but it's happening. And I do not believe that I'm the only case of this, because I've been associated with the IONS. It's a group out of California, which is actually commanded by one of the people that landed on the moon, one of our former astronauts. And they have a large collection in this project called the Instantaneous Remission Project, where they're documenting all these miraculous healings. However, multiple sclerosis has not been documented, so it seems to be that I'm the first case for that.
So it's basically something really difficult for the average MD to explain.
It was definitely difficult for all of my doctors, and luckily I developed a very beautiful relationship with them when I was going through the research that I needed to dig up in order for me to write a scientifically verifiable book. And really their opinion was, we cannot explain it, but we still have to congratulate you for achieving this beautiful step in your life where you were able to reverse this incurable or so-called incurable condition.